When we humans, players, coaches want to achieve something, we are often looking at the expectations inside our head in what we want to achieve and how it will be achieved, whether good or bad. We are talking and thinking too much about expectations. In this video, I want to talk about expectations versus intentions and why you should always focus on the intention and not the expectation. So be sure to grab a pen and a piece of paper and let's get into it. What is up, guys? My name is Donnie from nextlevel.esports.com, the #1 platform for esports coaches and team development to help you and your team reaching that next level by getting the people side of esports right. So if you like this type of content, smash that like button. I appreciate it a lot, and it helps the YouTube algorithm as well for finding people like you who like this type of content. If you love this type of content, also be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will get notified when new content is popping up in order to reach the next level. As well, what I would love to mention is since a couple of weeks, the Discord of Next Level Esports is also up and running, where we host free events, lectures, workshops, a huge network of like-minded people like yourself within the esports industry that are focused on coaching or team development, like managers, etc. So if that is something for you, also be sure to click the link in the description below to join the open and free Discord server as well, where a lot of free stuff is there. So be sure to head out, and now let's get into the intention over expectations. So let's talk about intentions versus expectations and why you should always have intentions and not expectations. We human beings like to control things. In a practice, we want to control the way the opponent would be playing, or we want to set things up, and that is strategy and tactics. But we also have a lot and too much of expectations, how I often see players play the game, that they have expectations on where the enemy should be according to the system or according to the meta, how they should play, what kind of perks or champions or heroes they should pick, yes or no. And this is detrimental for the performance, because then they are focused on the outcome, not per se the winning or losing, but the outcome of a certain situation, the expectation. And it narrows the freedom of the mind and the whole body down to a single position. And you don't have enough freedom in order to act accordingly towards the situation if it changes or adapts. So you want to welcome everything what you want to do. So what is best if you let your expectations go and only have the right intention. So your intention can be, my intention is to communicate everything that I find valuable in this game, and your communication skills will skyrocket and will improve so much than if you would have, let's say, an expectation of how the team should react or how you should do things or certain sentences that you would say. Of course, there's also a thing that you need to learn and understand what you can say. But if you have the right intention, you will find your way towards that position. That is called body intelligence. So if you want to practice something, set the right intention in terms of utility, in terms of a new champion. What is it? What is your intention that you want to develop and learn? That is super important. And afterwards, you will find out what kind of actions you need to take in order to get towards a desired result. Not to get this specific result, but know what actions you have to take in order to get towards a desired result. No matter if you will succeed or not succeed. That is not the case. It's about the intention, and therefore your body intelligence kicks in and you will find the solution, or you will find the tools in order to reach your goals. So the focus of intention is energy flows where the intention goes. So if you want to practice something, focus your intention there and then the action and everything will be so much smoother, and you will be so many more times adaptable towards different changing situations because you have this intention and you don't give up. This also goes for outside the game as well. So imagine if you have an intention like, oh, this day will be terrible because it's raining, and all these types of things that you don't like, that you dislike in the day-to-day life. Like, oh, I have to do this again and that again. So your intention is not there to control it, but you only have expectations because it's raining. Oh, it will be a terrible day. You don't set an intention for the day. So if you are practicing outside or before you go into the practices, set the right intention. What do you want to do? What is your intention? Do you want to learn and to develop? Or don't you have any intention and just expectations that it must be a good training? Or maybe, oh, it's Saturday again, they went out and they didn't warm up, so it will be terrible again. This really limits you for being the person who you can be. So always set the right intention and be understanding that you can create your day. You can create the way you and your team practices by sending that signal towards them and yourself as well, and then see how the training and the moment evolves into a more pleasurable and more rewarding moment for you. So to summarize, I sketched these two easy drawings. So expectations are in your head, your body is not involved. So you want to try, you want to control things with our mind. Our mind, especially our left brain, is very focused on control, where we want to control things, how things should be, winning, losing, developing certain skills. But if we press that too much, we get into and get stuck in our heads. So intentions are with the whole body, because if you want to, let's say in football, kick a ball with the intention and shooting it up in the corner, and you be thinking like, oh, I have an expectation that will go in the corner, but you have no intention to shoot the ball as perfectly and as aligned as possible, that is a big difference. Try it for yourself. Grab something that you want to hit. It can be, I only have a wallet here, or your mobile phone, or a little ball that you might have, or something that you want to throw, and have an expectation that it will hit, and then only set the intention that you want to hit that specific target in your room, and see the difference, how easy, or at least much easier it becomes in order to hit that target, because you create no stress for yourself and you're free to move and to do. And this also is a small example, but it is true for also the bigger picture, your training, your matches and everything. So always go for the intention and don't go for the expectation. So let's go a bit deeper into the difference between expectations and intentions. So expectations make you not be here. You are not in the moment. If you have an expectation of, let's say, an opponent that, oh, those are noobs, they are very easy to beat, my expectation unconsciously or consciously is, oh, we should beat them, or we know we're gonna beat them because we expect to beat them. If that is the train of thought, it will be way more difficult for you to have the right outcome, instead of my intention is to play this game the best that I can do in order to showcase my skills. Those are very different levels of how to approach a game, and the intention works in your favor and your expectation doesn't work in your favor if it's selected, because it's controlled, it's defined, it's narrowed down to something that you want to happen unconsciously or consciously, and that limits your flexibility, adaptability in the moment. So when the opponent, for example, that you call noobs or is a lesser team on paper, and we see this all the time in top sports, in esports, with different genres, that the underdog beats, that is the underdog buff, right? That they beat a very high or very solidified team as well. Why is that? Often because they have expectations that they will succeed or they will win because on paper they are worse. But the underdog, they know they don't have the expectations that they will win. So they know they don't focus, let's say, on the win or they don't focus on the lose because that's not beneficial for them. So they focus on themselves and they have the intention to play the best way. And that is why lower ranked teams often have the underdog buff, and you see them really go toe to toe with the better teams oftentimes. Oftentimes also like the better team wins just because of the game, but we see so many times that the underdog buff basically can almost go toe to toe, or even from time to time can beat the best teams just because of this interaction between expectations and intention. So be sure to remember that. So set your intention and let it guide you. Don't try to control the situation all the time. Set the intention for yourself, what you want to do and achieve, and everything will come to you. This sounds a little bit spiritual, but we are energy beings, and it is sort of spiritual because the science hasn't really, let's say, defined yet how that works, and that we are antennas and we feel things. And it's just like when you step into a room in a birthday party, you can feel the atmosphere like instantly. Why is that? It's not like because they said to you or you see instantly from their emotion, you feel basically the room. So this is not something science has caught up yet, but we have to acknowledge that this exists because we all know some type of situation, simple or maybe more complex in different kinds of situation, that you feel there's something going on. There's a tension within the team, but you don't know exactly what it is, but you feel it. That is the expectation or something that is blocking, or people having the wrong intentions. It's not aligned. So set your intentions positively and let it guide you. Your body intelligence will move towards it. It will find the tools and you will know what tools you need in order to succeed. But it starts with the intention first, not an action. So there's a story that I want to tell about the expectation and intention as well. So this goes for the next sentence. Having many expectations make you sick. And there's a story that having expectations really made people so sick, at least in their head, psychology wise, that they even were going to die sooner than others that have more intentions than expectations. So it is called the Stockdale paradox later on, and it's about a American general that was captured in the World War II in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. And what he did, because he's a general, he's a leadership figure. So what he said, like, okay guys, we're gonna be free and we will survive this, but we don't know when, but we will survive this. So he was more, let's say, a realist, and also a balance with optimism, because he has this optimism that we will know what is where we want to go, and that we feel that we will be safe and that we will survive this prisoner of war camp. But there was also a group that was, let's say, fully optimist. So they over positively thinking it, and when they were captured, they would say to themselves and their nearby soldiers as well, they were saying, by Christmas we will be free, we'll be set free, or the war will be over, etc., etc., and we will be set free. And then Christmas is there and it passes, and it didn't go, oh, we will be free by Easter. No, it passes. And then Christmas again. So it starts to eat their psychology wise. They become sick because they have expectations and too much optimism of what will happen, that they will be set free. And within the story, he wrote a book about it, that these people that were too optimistic about their let's say their future, or they set a goal, they had an expectation, Easter, Christmas it will be, that they died in those camps, versus the people that only had the intention to survive, live day by day, see the situation as it is, that they are prisoner of war and that they have to survive and struggle each day, and that they have at least the optimism that they will go out and be free someday, but not when. No expectation when. And they survive because they stay physically and mentally well, because they struggled and did their best in order to fulfill that intention. Huge different approach towards life. And also this applies to esports and the team environment and your expectations versus intentions as well. Set your intentions, not the expectations. So in order to, let's say, struggle and grapple with this, is take and welcome what comes. You cannot control the environment, even though I can control and I can pick up things, mobile phone, everything. That is a piece of control, but that is not really what I meant, obviously. So it's more about, like, we cannot control what is going to happen. If we are playing a game, we cannot control what the enemy is doing, or we cannot control what our teammates are doing. If we set the right intention to communicate properly, to show daringness, to show leadership, to do our best behavior, etc., our right intentions towards within the team, and to be as best and good as we possibly can with no expectation, that is when we find our flow zone, our best performance that you've ever reached, without having expectation that you should succeed or hit or miss something. Because sometimes you make a play and it doesn't work out, even though you had the right intentions. Don't let that wrong outcome or the negative outcome, let's say, for your team hold you back. Still recover, have the right intentions, and then move along with the adaptability that you and your teammates have in order to succeed. So that is the best chance for you to have this type of success. Intention versus expectations. So this means that you can be touched by, let's say, a negative outcome, or you lost a couple of rounds in a row, even though you tried your hardest. That can happen because you cannot control your environment and the enemy, and it can happen even though you played your best insane game ever. So keep your intention there, and you can be touched by the negative thing or outcome or positive thing. It can also be like you're winning 10 rounds and you're getting too hyped up and you're having the expectation of winning. That is also an expectation, and that's not beneficial for you as well. So ground yourself again. Where am I? I'm in the here and now. What is my intention and how should I move forward? So you are touched, so you like to win the round, or you kind of hate for a couple of seconds that you lost a round, or you missed a play, or you made a mistake, but don't let it affect you. You can be touched by it, but don't absorb it into your body. It's not beneficial for you. So you be just like the person figure on the presentation, like shielded from the outside. They can come close to you, you can observe it, you can understand it, but you don't let it affect you, because you do want to have your clear focus and your clear intentions in how to perform. So it all boils down to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So there's no time, no any expectations involved. Just do your best and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And also prepare for your best, but just let it go. Your body intelligence will take over, and they will find the solutions in your practices training in order to move yourself forward if you set the right intentions. So what I mentioned before is expectations are about control. It's our brain that likes predictability, and we want to control things, and in certain levels we can, but if we really look close towards reality as it is, it's really hard to control situations of life. And there are so many examples in life of illness and luck and all those things combined, and everything between that we are not that much in control as we like to think. So control is an illusion, and therefore it's a trap. If you are looking for control, I want to control my players as a coach into play a specific play style, and I want to do that because that is what I believe, an expectation that we will win the championship or the next upcoming match that way. Set the intention to win that match and to do whatever it takes, but don't try to control it. It's an illusion. It's a trap, because you need flexibility and adaptability of everyone involved to get to where you want to go with no expectations. So that is a huge, huge difference. So don't go for control, go for the right and positive intention and adaptability for yourself and your environment. And also, the next up is go for what is really important for you. So if you want to have intention, when we are training and let's say you are one day off mechanically and your teammates say, hey, you're off with mechanics, you should really practice that for next match. Now, that could be that you feel like, yeah, that is something that I want to work on and I put my attention there, that I don't want to let my teammates down. But a lot of players, and in a lot of types of contexts, players and coaches, they say that they want to do stuff, but they inherently, unconsciously, and they feel it, and you feel it very good if you're doing something that you don't love or don't feel like this is my way. And you can be a little bit stubborn or whatever and communicate with this, and sometimes you have to overcome like these hurdles to find common ground and set solutions. But over the long run, we're often only talking about details, not about like our path, where we want to go in life or our career. We're talking about the day-to-day stuff. But if you have your intentions set for, let's say, the season or the year or let's say 5 years, or it changes your perspective on what you allow, what can touch you but not affect you. And that's a huge, huge game changer for anyone that understands this, what is talked about in this video. So go for what is really important to you, because having expectations is losing your freedom, because you're focused on this particular part and there in your mind there's only one solution to get there, or maybe 2 or 3, but you feel that there are many solutions to get the job done. So don't try to control yourself too much, or your teammates, or your players if you're a coach, an analyst, or manager. Work with the right intention, find the tools in order to work with that intention, and then you can get the results that you want. But still, you don't have any expectations if it will be a good outcome or not. And if that is a new outcome, you can set new intentions. And that is a cycle of learning, developing, and evolution of yourself and your team as well. So to finish this video off, last week I heard a huge important, or it struck me, of a Japanese saying, and that is shiku, and that is translated direction of the heart. So that is basically how they say intention. What is your intention of the day? What does your heart actually in its core? What is the truth for you that you want to put your energy into? The energy flows where the intention goes. Remember? So where does your heart want to go? What is important for you? Do you want to change roles? Do you want to do something else? Or do you want to really go down into esports, or maybe get a job outside of esports, etc.? Follow your heart on a day-to-day basis, just like the Stockdale General, like have huge ambitions, be optimistic, but also be a realistic in the moment, and see what is in front of you and what you can do now to fulfill and your path on the right intention to get to the point where you want to go with no expectations of achieving it. So intentions versus expectations, always follow your intentions, make them crystal clear for yourself, and follow your heart. And that was the video for today. I'm really curious about this type of content because it's more, let's say, contextual, maybe a little bit a touch of spiritualness and understanding of different ways of life, and to look at esports or just general life in a different perspective, so you can develop as well. So I'm very curious what you thought of this content and if it brought you any value. So if it did, comment down below what you got out of it and what you find interesting. As well, if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm a lot. So thank you and appreciate it if you're smashing the like button. If you love this type of content, be sure also to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also be sure to head down towards the description about the Discord channel that Next Level Esports made a server where like-minded people like you that like this type of interesting topics about intention, coaching, team development, how to communicate with one another, and so many more things. So it's all there. We have a video library, free ebooks as well to pick up recent and frequential discussions about topics to develop and to help each other grow even further towards the next level. So if that's something for you, head down to the description and click the Discord button. And for you, thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.